Hi there. Welcome back to the StoneVanian Season 2 server. We have been busy on stream. If you're not following me on Twitch, you definitely should go check the link in the description and hit that follow button so that you don't miss anything. Anyway, let's go check it out. You can see little me, old me down there. Hi. Well, we finally cleared out all these hills back here. Still gotta fill in the other one with grass and terraform it, but so far this is looking a heck of a lot better than it used to. We also mapped out all of the paths around the base. And then we even started putting this one in and took it all the way down to the river, way down there where we're gonna put a bridge in. And we even did a lot of work over there too. Let's go check that out.
And now that we're over here, if we pop into free cam, you can see that that's going to be the basic layout of the village. There'll be a bridge leading from that side of the river to that side of the river. It'll wind around this little hill. There'll be a couple buildings up there. There will be a bridge from there to there, and then the path will wind up the little hill on the right. And then there will be 3 bridges that span the river. I'm not sure what we're going to do about this hill area yet. I'm not sure if I want to like make it a facade, a mountain facade, or what I want to do to kind of, you know, hide this village away from my farms. But we'll get into that eventually.
We also had a couple of visitors over at our base. One of them being none other than the infamous, the one and only, Markimus Gaming. Markimus Gaming is an absolutely wonderful person, a very talented creator, very wholesome, and is always willing to help you out whenever you ask. If you're not subscribed to him, you should definitely check his link down below and go do it now. Anyway, let's go see what he left us. Dadmann, I ventured back to the caves of day 1 to retrieve the rare stone diamond ore. There were 2! So I figured, sharing is caring, and I am a good neighbor. I also found a disc for your collection. It's in the chest with the ores I left you, 13. And as you're more of a redstoner than me, I collected a couple for you in this here chest. If this ends up in your video, then the next page is some solid advice for your ears. Ooh. Yeah, you guys ready for some solid advice? Like, subscribe, comment, share. You won't regret it. This guy deserves it. See what I mean? Completely wholesome. So we've got this day 1 rare find, which is amazing, and nice. Appreciate it, Markimus. Actually, I don't even have 13, so added to our collection. As for this day 1 rare find, I think I know what I'm gonna do with this actually. Let's go over to my farms and take a look. I came into the trading hall and I found this sitting here. A candle, a cake, and a barrel. And then there was a book and quill in here. It's StoneVania's first year anniversary. On September 1st, 2024, StoneVania's first episodes were released. So we want to thank you and your viewers for being a part of StoneVania's growing history. With that said, there will be a time capsule, barrel, right where we all spawned and started our adventure for the season. You can put something there you would like to remember later, but most importantly, write something for your future self. It can be what you want to achieve, words of encouragement, or whatever else you want to put. Once the time capsule is done, it will not be open till either the end of season or the 2nd anniversary, whichever comes first. I think I know what I want to write, and I think I want to put this in there with it. So, give me a little while, and we'll go over there, and we'll drop it in. Okay, I think it's right over, yeah, time capsule. What's this one say? Leave stuff in shulker, and then the aneurysm. Okay. Is there one? Yep, there's one here for me. Well, sort of. I guess let's transfer it over, and then we'll put it in. I did get my quill written, my book and quill written, but I'm not going to show you guys. You're going to have to wait and tune into season 2 or whenever the time capsule is picked up to figure out what it says. Anyway, just need to go fix this really quick. Yeah, right there, anvil, no caps, much better. And bloop. Oh, it took it. Okay, well, there's that then, I guess. Yeah, let's go figure out the next thing to do, which is actually not even going to be over here. Next thing I want to do is actually over in the shopping district. We're going to make our first shop. So let's gather our materials, head to the shopping district, and I'll talk to you more about it there.
Alright, we're going to put our shop right next to Sholo shop. I already talked to him, and this bench is actually moved over because we're going to put it right along this line to force this into more of an alley than a wide open space. So let's get cracking on it, and I'll see you when it's done. Ready? Let's go.
Welcome to Madame Marguerite Malo's Menagerie of Mud. Yep, we're making the mud shop on the server. But wait, why is Dadmann making a mud shop? He doesn't even have mud. He doesn't live in a swamp, I hear you saying. Well, sort of. Again, we've been pretty busy on stream, so let's pop over to our farms and check stuff out. So yeah, we've got a mud farm, actually. All we got to do is go collect some dirt and we feed it into the machine. This machine actually is a combination of a couple of different concepts and farms that I've seen, and is, as Jimothy puts it, a Dad Stone original. So if you want a tutorial, let me know down in the comments, and I might see what I can do. We'll come over and do some more work over here in a minute, but for now, let's go back and check out the shop a little more in depth. Anyway, like I was saying, I really like how this build turned out. I really like the difference between the bottom level and the top level. It's very stark and very drastic, but somehow it still kind of works together. I like the little balcony that we've got on the side. Show and I have already talked about linking them up with like a clothesline or power line or something of the sort, and the little decorations on the other side, like the drainage pipe and the little windows and bushes. I especially like the little display window where you can see the mud and little knickknacks. Inside, it's kind of cramped in here, but the biggest part is that these barrels. This is where we'll actually be selling our goods, like mud and muddy mangrove roots and packed mud bricks. And then we've got little shelves for displaying items. Back here's the employee area. We're not going to go back there, but yeah, I like the little details in here. Now as for the top, well, it's kind of lacking. There's not much up here at all. I kind of want to put stuff up here, maybe a little, maybe this is where the shopkeeper lives, and this is where they retire to at night. But, maybe. Anyway, I think we need to go back over to our farms to start working on getting some of these other things. Let's head on back. So we took care of the mud part of the farm. Now we need to take care of the wheat so that we can make packed mud. And I think we'll actually put the wheat farm somewhere over here. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started, and I'll be back when it's done. And here it is. The wheat farm in all its glory. It doesn't look like much from here, but if we get over here and get on top of it, you can see it is one massive villager-run wheat farm. I had thought about doing a few connected silos with this, which is why they're kind of circular in pattern. But then realized how big of a project that would be, and that I don't want to waste a bunch of materials over here, because this isn't my base. So I decided to do it this way. It does feed into the storage system over there, and I went ahead and did something else. I made the Mud Packinator 3000. So the Mud Packinator 3000, it's a simple machine really. You input mud and wheat into these two barrels, and it outputs packed mud until this barrel is full. Once this barrel is full, it starts outputting packed mud bricks. It doesn't have a shutoff for mud bricks, so it'll just keep going and 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 going. But this will allow us to keep up on stock, which I have already done, and we are now selling packed mud and mud bricks at the shop too. The only thing left is muddy mangrove roots. But that's enough about mud farming. Let's get into the bigger reason why we even built the mud farm and the Mud Packinator 3000. The paths in the village. I want to make them all out of a combination of packed mud, mud bricks, jungle wood, and a couple of other things. Let's go ahead and dig out and place down our paths for the village. Let's get going. Alright, one more project that I want to work on today, now that we got the paths in the village. So let's go gather some materials. Hey, just want to take a quick second to share the word with you. Luke 16:10 ESV says, "One who is faithful in very little is also faithful in much, and one who is dishonest in very little is also dishonest in much." I personally take that as my reminder to always be honest, no matter the cost. Honesty has always been the best policy and will always be the best policy. Sometimes that leads to things that you don't want to deal with, but unfortunately, you just have to deal with them. Besides, I've always found that in dealing with the things I don't want to deal with, it's taught me something important for the future, or helped me to learn how to deal with something that I'm struggling with in the present. Anyway, have a blessed day. Let's get back to it. Alright, now that's done, let's grab up all our materials and head over to the village, because I want to start working on the houses over there. Ow, my face. And we're actually going to plop the first one right here. I don't want to give too much away, so I'm not going to say anything about what the build is, or what it's supposed to represent. So I'll do a little bit of building, and I'll pop back with you every now and then. Alright, little update. I got the first half of the building done. Well, the front of the building anyway. I want to put the second half on, the top half. But here's the thing. We got to throw a little bit of wonk in it. You can kind of see I already started with the little stairs. We're going to move basically everything over by a block to make it look like it's leaning a little bit. So let's go ahead and throw the top half on, and I'll be right back. You see what I mean? It leans just a little bit, and that's kind of what we want over here in this little village. This little not necessarily rundown village, but this little weird village. Anyway, let's throw a roof on this thing.
That's the roof done. It was very interesting doing it because of the shape of the build and the way I wanted to slope it. But it's in. There's a few details around the back that I want to do, but for the most part, this facade is finished. We'll eventually fill in the interior, but there's a lot of buildings that we got to plan out before we can. So let's throw up those details and we should be able to see the final product. Alright, see you in a sec. Like I said, not too much, just some banners and some lanterns. But eventually we'll throw enough detail into this to hopefully make it come alive and, you know, paint a scene. But for right now, I think that's gonna do it for this build. Again, we've got to plan out some other buildings to actually fill it out, because this whole little street is going to be filled with buildings up until a certain point where there'll be an alley. There'll be like 2 or 3 buildings and then an alley, 2 or 3 buildings, an alley, and whatnot. But for now, I think that'll do it for this one. So, any guesses as to what I'm trying to accomplish over here in this little valley village? I know it's only one building so far, but a couple people have guessed it already on the server, so maybe somebody else will. If you've got a guess, leave it down in the comments below. Maybe you'll be right. Enough of the mud, enough of the village. We're going to introduce a new segment today. I want to do, maybe not Vanian of the month or Vanian of the week, I guess just Vanian of the episode. And today's Vanian is, drum roll please, just another remnant. Let's go see what Rim has to say for himself. You have 45 seconds to say whatever you want to my audience, starting now.
What to say? Well, hello. Hope everyone's okay. Knock knock. Who's there? Doctor who? What else? Here's a carrot. Here's a rocket. I'm running out of ideas. I'm just gonna stop throwing stuff at you. I'm not gonna throw that because that's my own armor. More carrots. I don't know what else to say. Run away! Run away! How much longer have I got?
You still got like 8 seconds.
Oh, my days!
Yeah.
This is not over yet. Also, come check out my channel. It'll be fun to see you. Bye!
Now that we've heard from the man himself, let's go fly over his base and check it out. Let's go. Rim's a pretty awesome guy. He's super nice, always funny, and, you know, if you need to talk about something, he's always available. If you're not following Just Another Remnant, you definitely should check the link below and go give him a follow. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I see you in the next one. Until I see you again, have fun, God bless, and remember to be kind to one another. Bye!